Soul, are you ready for success, wealth, soulmates? We do have the card here, the path of the gods, decisions, meetings, and then future plans. But there's some sort of peek into your future here, ancient soul. And we do have the diamond dreamer, material wealth, true prosperity. Ancient soul, you have a choice. You have a choice, ancient soul, and it's to know thyself. Now, by that, ancient soul, I mean, there is a particular spirit that you may have to deal with in your life, but it almost feels as if it comes with it. You want this timeline jump. You want to step into this future timeline of yours. You better know how to be strong when it comes to envy, evil eye, and jealousy. Now, this reading is for the ancient souls that, especially for anyone who is going to have some form of visibility in their life. It just comes with it. Where, sometimes I'll get the comments of, well, who cares about evil eye and, envy and jealousy? This is for the souls that your future, you're going to be so visible, you're going to have some sort of success, something here that it feels like a truth to not ignore. 144 as I give this message. Don't shoot the messenger. Where, like ancient soul, you have a choice, indecision. And it feels like it's just you being strong, the angel of strength. But the strength card in the tarot is you going within and taming your own inner beast. And from there, you don't have to worry about the beasts in others because you've tamed your own inner beast. You are in integrity. And so, it's kind of like the let them theory, but we do have ideas preserved, non-action, entitlement, the Ice King or Queen. So we're going to dive deeper into this reading today. Again, ancient souls, whenever you're watching this, it can be for real. And if you would like a personal tarot reading, a private one-on-one session, or to join our Patreon, check out that box below. It does have everything that you will need. There's only 25 summer tarot readings, so feel free to also go check that out on the website 144bluerosetemple.com. All right, what do we have here for the ancient souls? Why do we have indecision, unknown, envy, angel of strength, Master Jesus, forgiveness, and then Lady Portia, divine order? You are on the path of love, light, and forgiveness. You've been chosen for this. You were chosen by God. You are a chosen one, ancient soul. But the reason why God has chosen you, cloak of wisdom, I will say, like you have this, say, cloak, this veil of wisdom. You can't help but understand. And I will say, ancient soul, there's some sort of shadow that you attract a lot this lifetime, past, present, or future. And it almost feels as if the truth coming through in this reading, ancient soul, is not that it's, like say, going to get better. It's going to get better of how you handle and deal with it, of the healthy boundaries that you have. And I will say, you're someone that you attract a lot of jealousy, envy, or evil eye. But it's because you have the higher heart wisdom to withstand it, to keep it away at bay. But you're someone that you feel as if, like, envy has just been chasing in different forms, in different people, etc. But the lesson with that is not to continue to have fear of the reflection of the mirror. It's to master this within yourself. And I'm seeing Isis and the 7 scorpions. And with Isis and the 7 scorpions, that's actually the path, though, of Jesus, too. When you master something, it can't control you. So if you master, say, envy, evil eye, jealousy, the shadow in another person comes in creepily, creepy crawly, and it doesn't touch you. Where I'm actually seeing, like, say, a spider. And spiders are beautiful. They represent creation. But say like a spider, that is something that people just like, like they try to like kill, try to get away. When it comes to envy, evil eye, and jealousy, the spider's going to crawl up to you, but it's going to recognize you. Where for some of you ancient souls, what Spirit is saying is you have the authority over envy, evil eye, jealousy. That is not an energy, a lower emotion that you are personally, say, in. And because of that, you don't fear when it comes your way. It's just like you go like this, and it instantly goes, that way. Like that's what I'm seeing here. Or you do nothing, and it never enters your abode. It never even crawls on you because it knows who you are. And that's what Spirit's saying in this reading. And we do have the Page of Wands to start this reading. So, for the ancient souls here, why do we have material wealth, future plans, indecision, envy, angel of strength, and Master Jesus? Why the Page of Wands for Master Jesus? For the ancient souls, why the Eight of Cups in reverse? For envy, material wealth, Master Jesus. Why the Eight of Cups in reverse? So you're not walking away. Why the Eight of Cups in reverse? For material wealth, indecision, envy, angel of strength. My decisions are guided by justice and truth. But I'm laughing because, and feel free to go check out the Pisces reading that was posted today as well. All Pisces, you could always resonate with the Ancient Souls reading, but also remember, Ancient Souls, that we all have Pisces somewhere in our birth chart. So feel free to go check out both readings. Ancient Souls. Envy, evil eye, jealousy is not real. And so when you get projections of envy, say for example, material wealth, true prosperity, that person is greedy. I can't stand that person. It's not true. It's not true. And so, say you get the projection, that person is greedy, and it's just say because like they see you succeeding. Like say your business does very well for 1 week. You see that person, who do they think they are? I think I'm really balanced and actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like that's what this reading is saying, ancient soul. It's true. So if it's true, why are you feeding the lower vibrations of envy, evil eye, and jealousy? Envy, evil eye, and jealousy are not true. It is projections from other people of what is true. And so this is like shadow integration here, ancient soul. And I will say though, like, the part of shadow work for empaths and sensitive and light workers where it's just like, oh, I am not the villain, but I'm going to own my shadow. Truth is, I come from love. And like, that's what this reading is saying, ancient soul. Where say, like you attract someone that's an envy, evil eye, or jealousy. Who do they think they are? They're greedy. They're an a-hole. It's you. You're not bowing down. And that's what this reading is saying, ancient soul. You're not going to allow the energies of envy, evil eye, and jealousy to make you walk off the path that God has paved for you, that has illuminated for you or shown you the way. Because the truth is, you're surrounded by love and by contentment. So, what people project upon you, and this is for the ancient souls, that this has been your whole life. You got some sort of like soul contract, say, with the entities of envy and jealousy, and things like that. For some of you, sunflowers and mirrors can resonate with you. Why the Eight of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Cups for Master Jesus? Envy, indecision. All of the envy and jealousy that you attract is not true. Is it real in your experience? Yes. So it's real that it's like, whoa, it's really not nice to accept this projection or to even experience this projection of, someone who is projecting all of these thoughts upon me, things that are not true upon me, but from the place of envy, of evil eye, of jealousy. And King of Cups here, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You're not the bad guy. It's actually the people that are projecting upon you that not that anyone's the bad guy, but what these people on the other side of the mirror don't realize is like, actually, you're the bad guy. 144 as I say that. Where I'm right, like that person, and I'm just saying it because we do have material wealth and true prosperity. So say you hit lotto. Who do they think they are? They're so greedy, this, and that. These are people that, eagle's eye perspective, Akashic records perspective, etc. They're actually they are the ones that are actually sending the spiritual attack. They're actually the ones that are in the wrong in this reading. They're trying to put you in a place of fear when you're not there already. Where, as long as the inside matches the outside, that's all that matters. When people see you, say for example, I don't know, like nails and say sunglasses, who does that person think that they are? Why are they talking about God and doing that? I bet you they think this, and this. Now, I just like to paint my face, I just like to get my nail, whatever it may be, ancient soul. But the reason why this reading is coming through is because it feels as if it is truth that you're going to attract this in your life. And it's not the tarot reader being negative, it's true. High Priestess, kind of more energy. And Spirit is trying to gift you, reveal to you a way to navigate this. This soul contract, say, with like the entity, the energy of envy, the spirit of envy, of jealousy, etc., of evil eye. For the ancient souls here, what's the outcome here? For material wealth, envy, Master Jesus, indecision, angel of strength. What is the outcome here for the ancient souls of material wealth, envy, indecision, path of the gods? Why the devil card here? You're going to, you accept your shadow, and it feels like part of your soul purpose in this lifetime, though, is to not accept projection. Now, as someone who's studied a lot, say, of spirituality, of the Akashic records, etc., we usually see this, like, say, in someone who has many past lives of self-sabotaging, self-betrayal, due to envy, jealousy, and evil eye. When it comes to reincarnation, right, like soul cycles, at the end of the day, we're only here to complete our personal soul cycles. This could have, say, been a soul contract, a soul lesson that you have run from, or say not completed in multiple lifetimes. In this lifetime, you're here to hold up the mirror. But again, you saying this, right? So like, say you're like, yeah, I have a mirror. Who do you think you are? This, and that. Where you're actually showing up as very loving, very pure. You're showing up as the Empress. In this lifetime, you are meant to have a lot. You're meant to, we have material wealth, true prosperity. Now, for some of you, you are meant to be wealthy in some way, shape, or form in this lifetime. And you're going to attract a lot of different kinds of things, both light and shadow. Why do we have the Devil card here for the ancient souls? Why do we have the Devil card here? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Why do we we have material wealth and true prosperity here? Why do we have material wealth and true prosperity? It's not you, ancient soul. You are a powerhouse, and either you don't know it or you already know it. You are a powerhouse, and it can be very hidden from other people. How do I word this? Hermit card, I seek truth. How do I word this, ancient soul? This is your life purpose. You truly are here to be a mirror. And I will say even me, right? Where it feels like everybody says that. I'm here to be a mirror, but it's like then they avoid the mirror, and all those different things. I was going to mention Hades. Now, that's why I asked for these cards. And you do have the death card here. So Hades. The Diamond Dreamer, material wealth, true prosperity. Hades, I embrace new beginnings. The death card is Pluto. A lot of people fear the death card. Now, you are someone who, you might resonate with Hades. You might have a lot of Pluto energy, prominent 8th house placements, prominent Pluto placements, or prominent Scorpio placements. That could mean that this reading is for you. You are going to be like a mirror, where Oshun can also resonate with you if that resonates with you. But here's the thing with the mirror of Oshun. The mirror of Oshun, she doesn't hold the mirror necessarily like in vanity. She represents vanity in different ways. But the mirror of Oshun, it's not of like, look at me. The mirror of Oshun is, this can happen for you too. If you work this hard, right? Looking at yourself in the mirror every day, of course this is the result. Of course you've come to your highest timeline. Of course you've come to your highest potential. Of course you have. You are someone who's truly a mirror, but it's because you've traveled your own depths. Now, I will say you're also someone who's going to have money, wealth, and prosperity. You are. And you are someone here that you will not accept the projections. You're meant to have what it is that you have. But I will say, Hades is a god of the earth, of material, of minerals, etc. The soil. Also representing the subconscious, the unconscious, the richness that is found in your subconscious, unconscious. But because of that, you are someone, you're going to have a lot in your life material. So you are actually going to succeed in the material realm in some way, shape, or form. You are also going to heal people, sometimes by doing nothing. And, people will face their own reflections, but like healing wise. All right, you're definitely a shadow worker in this reading. While the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Cups, and the Death card for material wealth and true prosperity. There's like some song lyrics about Hades. And what did it say? It says something along the lines of, they're the ones that I blame. They're the ones that blame me. Something along those lines of, they're the ones that blame me. I'm the ones that made them rich. And it doesn't go like that. It rhymes much better than that. But it's something along the lines of, they're blaming me. I'm the one that made them rich. Like, why are you shooting the messenger? That's though kind of the role it is that you have to play here. You are like a walking Pluto. Okay, so Pluto can resonate with you. Check out your birth chart of your Pluto placements. You're a walking Pluto. And you do bring people into their highest timelines. However, I will say, with the Pluto energy, Pluto makes you make peace with those parts of yourself, it's shadow work, that are in the way of your highest potential and your hidden wealth, etc. So say, for example, there's someone that is, say, manifesting a timeline of wealth with ease, in whatever way, shape, or form that wealth looks like to them and for them. Say they come across you, but then they're in this energy of envy, jealousy, etc. That gets purged out of them, and then they do timeline jump. You're the one who kind of does the work that nobody wants to do or to reflect, is what this reading is showing here. Overall, what this reading is saying is your gift, truthfully, you know, how sometimes there's the term, I get paid to exist. For some of you, that actually may become your reality. You get paid to exist, but again, it's not that you're not working hard, you are working hard. But the people who are who do they think they are? How dare they say that? They would actually learn a lesson from you. Success in the material is not necessarily absent from love in the heart and in the soul. And I'm seeing that you're someone, law of correspondence. The reason why you have what's outside of you is because of what you have within you. Why the Ten of Wands here for envy? Why the Ten of Wands here for envy? Crossroads, Angel of Strength. You're holding up your sword in this lifetime. I speak my truth with clarity and with compassion. Why the Empress card for indecision, envy, Angel of Strength. Yeah, what this reading is saying here is, I will say it's revealing a few things in this reading. You are destined to be successful in the material realm, in the material world, with money, Ace of Swords, truth. You know, however that resonates with you, and however wealth and success looks like on you. That's going to be true and is true. But you're going to have so much success that envy, jealousy is something you will constantly deal with. And by you just remaining in your truth, and sometimes just not even responding, remaining in your truth, keeping on going, that is going to heal people whether they know it or not. But I will say you're like a Pluto. Not everybody wants to be healed by Pluto. Pluto will lead you to your greatest wealth timeline. But Pluto is a planet everybody avoids, along with Saturn. Everybody wants, wealth. They go to Jupiter. If you want wealth, you have to go to Pluto. And that's what I see here, where you actually have a hidden gift. But I will say, there's these Pluto themes of intensity, extreme, things like that. And I will say you're going to have extreme wealth in some way, shape, or form, success in some way, shape, or form that people will see it or do see it. And you not responding in the ways that other people come at you, that's why we have the Jesus card here. What people don't realize as they're projecting upon you is again, like Judas and Jesus. And then Judas had the awakening of oh shit, that was Jesus, and etc. Where when people come at you, they don't realize that you are actually this energy. You're in Christ consciousness, and that's what I'm trying to say by that. You're in Christ consciousness, God consciousness. You holding the shadow balanced, you holding a form of material balance does not make you any less or separate from God consciousness, from Christ consciousness. And what I'm seeing in this reading is, as people think it's okay to do all those things, it hurts your heart. And the higher heart alchemy, you consistently alchemizing it. And it really does, only bring you more blessings, more wealth, more prosperity. And so there's this hidden gift of yours that people do not quite see. And I will say, by people seeing that they cannot affect you, that they cannot project this envy, this evil eye, this jealousy upon you, because that's really where it's coming from. Just them seeing that they can't affect you alone is healing for those people. But again, whether they know it or not. And there's also something here about releasing control of even how other people say react to you in this reading. As long as you're in love and in the truth that I'm seeing it is that you are, Queen of Swords or King of Swords, I speak my truth with clarity and compassion. That's all that matters. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing in this reading. Now, why do we have Master Jesus, forgiveness? You're going to be very successful, okay? I leave behind what no longer serves me for a brighter path. Success is my natural state. And so Master Jesus, forgiveness, like what this reading is saying, you know, and again, like this, even sometimes people hate, you know, when people are like unstoppable, unbeatable, this, that, and not that you are, you know, like not saying that you're perfect or this or that. When someone though is in alignment with God, the only thing that you have to fight is God, right? And who is it that wrestled with God? Was it Cain and Abel? I'm not remembering who wrestled with God, but when people try to wrestle with you, they will say that you're coming from ego, you know, and that's what they said also about Jesus. And then it turns out that they really weren't, you know. We have Six of Wands, success is my natural state. And it's you holding that success, okay? Where the success that you're going to have in your life, especially the material success, it only comes from God. And again, there's actually a hidden gift here, as when you don't react to certain things, it's actually healing for those people. All right? Now that's what I have for you. I do hope that it resonates in a positive way. Both of the readings today were a little bit different. It's like, whoa, I've never done a reading like this before. All right, and I will say it is like fate that it's your soul destiny, material success. You have a legacy here, material wealth, true prosperity. And it all has come from God, and that's what you need to know here. As long as you know that, everything else, all the other projections don't matter. But I will say, they'll even project upon you for saying that it doesn't matter. All right, now, why do we have envy? What's the advice for? What's the advice for the collective? The ancient souls dealing with the spirit of envy. What's the advice? Now, Six of Cups here. You're cutting out something from the past. Two of Swords. I open my heart and mind to new perspectives. And then giving and receiving are in balance. Why giving and receiving in balance here? The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, you're cutting out. Why Two of Swords here for advice? When people don't quite see you, you're just more cutting out those parts. Okay? Filtering those out. Whenever it's coming like from a place of the subconscious, the unconscious, the shadow, I will say you're a shadow worker in this reading. You're cutting out and you're always moving forward. All right, know thyself. That's what this reading is saying. All right, I'm going to grab one more card. What is one more card of advice for indecision? What is one card of advice for the collective dealing with the spirit of envy, returning home? Okay, we do have transition, life between lifetimes, a loving welcome. And then the number 444 can resonate with you. Why do we have returning home, life between lifetimes, a loving welcome? You are super sensitive to energy. That's also part of it here. Okay, changing consciousness, awareness, extrasensory perception. Also, you're coming into this timeline. All right, and it almost feels as if it's a timeline where you're receiving in the material, but you're also, you cannot help but see through the illusions. Why do we have extrasensory perception, life between lifetimes, a loving welcome? Transformation, intuition, and patience over here. Okay, so you're at the end of a soul cycle, coming into a new one. All right, you're having a timeline jump. We do have fruition, abundance, reaping what you sow. Okay, so you're entering this timeline of money, of wealth, of prosperity, and of success. And don't worry about the evil eye. Okay, that's what I have for you. I hope that it resonates in a positive way. I'm sending you all so much love and so many blessings to your day.